Hello, and welcome to Season 3 of GracePoint Go, GracePoint's podcast where you can listen to sermon audio from our Sunday morning worship services, as well as interviews and conversations and deep dives all on the go. Today is episode 1 of Season 3. We will just be recapping the summer and all the things that happened between June and August, as well as previewing all the things that are going on at GracePoint this fall. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, Season 3.
It's good to be back.
We're back. This is our season 3 of the podcast. Season 2 ran kind of like during the school year of last year. Started in the fall. We went through the winter and the spring. And now we're back. And it's super exciting. We got some really cool things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing, today we're doing summer recap.
Yep. So
we're just talking about what happened this summer, what are some of the exciting things that we did, and also kind of looking a little bit into the ministry year, what's going to come up, what's happening this fall. So in this next season, the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing one called The Problem of Evil, which is just the racial divide and racial reconciliation with both Randy Nelson and Steve. We're talking about anxiety. And then we're going through a series called This or That, which Jared's going to lead. And that's kind of a comparing and contrasting different themes in the Bible, different doctrines, different sides of the coin to different things. So anyway, I'm really excited, but let's just start with the summer. Let's just talk quickly about like what happened this summer. It flew by, right? We're ready almost to September, which is absolutely insane. So what happened? What was the summer?
Well, it's fitting that this summer, as it marks change and transition, one of the main things that happens for us at church is, at least for me as the pastor, is it brings in a different series that we preach through. And so it's fitting that we were going through Ecclesiastes this summer in our worship together, because it really did capture the spirit of the summer, which is life moves by really fast, right? Everything is just passing by like a shadow, as Solomon talks about, and so we all feel that when we're here starting season 3, it's the marking of a new season of time, and and so it's been great, but a full summer, an awesome summer, and at GracePoint, our summer is usually structured well by unique opportunities, and one of the first things that really hits our church in ministry is Vacation Bible School, happening at the end of June. That was just an awesome experience. It is a significant ministry and outreach for our church for a couple reasons. We invest in our children and youth. That's one of our primary ministry values. And so we are excited to see 120 plus kids, many of them outside of the walls of the church, coming and experience just an amazing week of fun and activities and Bible stories and learning about God's creation, which was really unique about this summer. It's kind of, again, it goes back to that idea of where did time go? But just the way in God's providence everything came together. There was that like significant Roe v. Wade decision and the value of life brought into the consciousness of our country. And then that week was Vacation Bible School, and it's centered on the sanctity of life. So it's just, looking at life through creation and through animals, but ultimately through humanity. And so just a really neat time for our kids, and just an amazing group of volunteers in our church. It's just so fun to see, while the investment is in our youth, to see the multi-generational impact of our volunteers, young and old, working hard to make just a really beautiful ministry for our children. So, so that was a kind of that's kind of a good way to get summer started with Vacation Bible School. We also had like sprinkled throughout. Well, going back to June, we also, in terms of kind of the structure of our summer, we have these outdoor services. We try to do one each month, where it just creates a good opportunity for our church to gather together as one. And to meet outside and to worship. June got off to a slow start, surprisingly, right?
Right.
August was just gorgeous, kind of cool, cloudy, breezy. June was so hot.
So hot.
Yeah, that we it wasn't due to rain or anything. It was just we were like between the heat and humidity,
Yep.
it just was not doable. So we had to cancel that and bring our worship back indoors.
And thankfully, that first summer fun night, you said we had 5 of those this summer.
Yep.
That first one we thankfully had inside, Feed My Starving Children.
Yeah, that was a cool
And-
like kind of outreach.
Yep.
You know, we've made kind of a slow change over the years, where we've gone from a church doing like really one huge night. You know, we used to call it the block party or the community night out, and while there's still a lot of value in that, we've slowly kind of seen another kind of value, which is taking that idea and kind of just spreading it out over the summer.
Yep.
And so we call them summer fun nights. And what's been so fun about those, you just mentioned we had this the first one in June where it was an outreach event for our church going to feed my starving children, but to then do other things like a petting zoo in July.
Right.
And what was fun about that was an activity in our block party days.
Yeah, right.
And we just made it a singular event, and awesome turnout. We had ice cream treats and sidewalk chalk and bubbles for the kids, but a ton of people came. But what was so exciting about that event that I recall was how many people from the community came.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just saw the traffic. They saw the crowds. People were literally walking on the sidewalk. And I met a couple of people coming up to me like, what is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
And just sharing. And it's like, here, have some free ice cream. We're glad you're here with us, right? They were just so blessed by the generosity. And even just the other night, having outdoor yard games, inflatables, again, bouncy houses and stuff that, again, we had in this one single night, but we just spread throughout the summer. But again, what struck me with all of these activities, we had a movie night in the gym,
We had laser tag and board game night.
laser tag, board game night. Every single one of them, it was just so cool to see the full dimension of the church in terms of age, young and old, right? In fact, at the movie night, we were showing Disney's Pixar's Up. You know, it's a cute kind of cartoon-like movie, the animated movie. But as I was walking in, an older lady from our church was coming in, and it was the cutest thing because in this sweet voice, she's like, oh, you know, I might be the only one here in terms of age. But she wasn't. Like, there were a bunch of adults, young and old alike, who were there just enjoying a neat evening in the gym. And so it was exciting. We had a really great turnout, and it really gave some it kind of was a thread that sort of tied the summer together for our community, where every couple of weeks we had these opportunities for our church to come together, to have some fun together. And so in addition to our Sunday worship, this was just another rhythm that was built into our church. So that was really exciting.
So we had the first outdoor service that was inside. We moved that inside. Ended up being really great.
Yeah.
It was very full. I remember that.
Super full, yeah.
It was in June, right?
Yeah, it was in June. Yeah.
And then we had a 4th of July service, which ended up being kind of very similar. It was inside one service, but it was packed.
Well, not just inside, but that service was the first one in our newly kind of designed gym, right? Because we're over this summer, we've been going through some pretty exciting facility changes in the updating of our sanctuary, which required us to first update our gym to make it a multi-purposed space. And so with paint and padding and acoustic paneling, really created a beautiful space. By the end of the summer, we're going to have 2 weddings in the gym. I mean, I don't think we had 2 weddings in our sanctuary over the last few years. And so, clearly the gym is really did get transformed well. And not just for worship, but for ongoing ministry, which is super exciting. But that Sunday, July 3rd was our first service in the church. We had set up, I think, around 220 chairs.
This is almost too many.
Oh, we were like, oh, yeah. I mean, especially for the 4th of July, everyone's gone. We're like, oh, this is way more than we need. And, we all recall that the fun of frantically throwing out chairs as even the service was starting. And we had to add 30-some more chairs. And it was just a wonderfully packed service. But really, it's just that momentum. I think that's one of the cool things that I took out of this summer was for our church. There was just an energy, largely marked by attendance, but there's just, summer's always a weird time in Minnesota church life because people are going to their cabins and lakes, and rightly so. We're trying to squeeze in outdoor activities in the few months we have of warm weather. But we had really good energy this summer.
We did.
A
And then
lot of
we-
encouraging growth. It was neat. A lot of new faces,
Yes.
new families. Really neat stuff happening.
It was a very energetic and, like, I think intentional summer for
Yeah.
how many things go on in people's lives.
Yeah.
We had the outdoor service, then a few weeks later after 4th of July weekend, and we had that outside. Finally,
Yep,
we actually were really
finally.
good outside.
Yep.
And
Sunny,
that
kind
was-
of hot, but good.
Yep,
Yeah,
I was-
had a lunch afterwards.
Yep. And we
Awesome
did that
work.
again a couple weeks ago. Well, last week
Yeah,
in
in
August.
August,
And we had bluegrass. So we've been able
Bluegrass
to
worship, that was really great.
we've been able to like have some really big, almost like a weekly marker of like, all right, what's going, like, I remember staff meeting, it was like, all right, this week there's another thing, this week it's another thing, this week it's another thing. And then obviously we had camp, so the high schoolers went
Yeah.
out to
Well, we had, I mean, our high schoolers had a great mission trip. Yeah,
Yes.
in July.
sorry, a mission trip.
No, it's good. Just praise God for that. They,
Yeah.
Christian Brands, our student ministries pastor, had a great team. Again, going out and just to see how God worked in their hearts, just serving in like the Virginia area there, in the city center, and just helping, with communities. They went to areas of development in which they were just not only just doing some kind of construction-like improvement work, but really just ministering to the
Yep.
people and doing ministry among the children. And I mean, there's a whole nother podcast just like on, I think, sharing some of that.
Yeah, right.
But the report they gave to our church,
Yep.
it was so awesome, and praise God for that. Those are always meaningful times for our youth, for sure.
Anything else that we're missing from the summer, or is there anything?
Well, summer's just a
covered
different
everything.
kind of busy. I always tell people that,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's just on one hand, so much changes. It feels like because we're not doing the regular rhythms of Sunday school
Yep.
and some of our other kind of adult ministry things, it feels like there's not as much happening, but it's just not true. It's just a different kind of busy.
Sure.
Certainly marked by our facility changes that are happening, but all these different opportunities we just talked about. There's as much planning and work going on, and even behind the scenes as we get ready and geared up for the fall. Certainly as a staff for GracePoint, we're really excited about what's coming up this fall and the things that we're looking forward to. And based on the date of this podcast, we're like a week and a half away from, about 2 weeks away from jumping into our fall ministry kickoff on September 11th. So we're gearing up. We're getting ready.
Yeah, super exciting to look forward. Even coming out of a busy season, it doesn't seem like, all right, we gotta get going again. It's just an exciting kind of time, and because it feels like an energy that's stirred by the kind of like even some of the facility changes that are going on.
Yeah.
Just the expectancy, like
An
it's going to be really
expectancy.
nice
That's
to
a good word.
have
That's a good
things
word.
that are going to be a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And to let that kind of be a marker of like, all right, what are we doing? Almost like a point of reflection, but also a point of like launching into
Yep.
ministry.
Yep.
It just seems like the timing is perfect. Like obviously we would have liked to have the auditorium like done as like
Sure.
overnight.
Yep.
But the fact that it's happening in like at the same time that ministry year is kicking off just feels like a very good launching point to be
Yep.
kicking off all of these different ministries.
Carpet is being installed as we speak.
As
It
we
is
speak,
happening.
you might be able to hear it in the background as you're listening
I
to this
agree with you. I
podcast.
wish it was done tomorrow, but it's not, folks. It's coming.
Yeah.
So
So talk about the adult Sunday school, because that's one big change that we
It is a
are
big change.
one and even a big
good
change, but
yeah.
just something that we are launching this at the same time that this
Yeah.
hopefully this auditorium. is.
There's you mentioned that word expectancy, and we have a lot to look forward to, and as we enter back into our rhythms of what we call our ministry year, there have been things we have seen in our church that frankly we want to take advantage of. Like all churches coming out of 2020 and through 2021, and you start to kind of reassemble what ministry looks like after
Yes.
having so many difficult challenges as a church, as a country, you name it, right? We just began to see patterns in our church that we really wanted to identify and take advantage of. And one of those patterns we saw was just how our community was engaging on Sundays and how we were prioritizing those engagements.
Right.
And we saw high value in our worship services. And And when it came to our Sunday school classes, we wanted to make sure that we were offering an opportunity that was most impactful to our community. And so what we're going to be doing this fall is, rather than offering what I think was probably like the tradition of our church, and I think some folks listening to this would certainly agree that, as a church, we've always valued Sunday school, and that value is continuing. But one of the things we used to value was making sure that literally every single group, and usually by way of age, had some kind of representation. So there are times where we would have 8, 9 Sunday school classes because we wanted to have a class for every single little age section. Well, that just becomes hard. And it can also become difficult in the sense that you have classes that could be really small. And so what we decided to do this fall is we are prioritizing the way people engage in Sunday school. No less community-oriented, but just the way we engage. And by that, I would say this. There are different formats that we offer in Sunday school that have proven to be most valuable. People love engaging with biblical topic-oriented teaching.
Right.
And good engagement, Q&A type of stuff. We've also found a lot of value in which people like to engage with the more video-based type of curriculum. They're listening from other teachers, and then as a class, they engage with that, right? And then the third format that we've seen valued in our Sunday school classes is the more Bible study or sermon-based approach to class engagement.
So list those three one more time.
So again, the three are really, one option is the topic, biblical topic, spiritual topic oriented teaching, video-based teaching, and then you might say Bible study or more sermon-based teaching and or interaction. And so going away from purely a demographic model to a format of learning model, we are going to offer Sunday school classes to our church this Sunday with those three options. And so on a Sunday morning in the middle Sunday school hour, 9:45 to 10:45, people are going to have the freedom to engage with the people they want to engage with in the format that relates best to them. And they're going to have that freedom and that flexibility to do so. Some people want that sermon-based, following up from last week, whatever Pastor Jared said, diving deep. Other people like that video stimulation, right? Other people like kind of a special speaker coming in and teaching on a topic. And so again, rather than having 8, 9 different classes that's influenced by age, we're having 3 classes that are going to be influenced by content. So it's going to be really good. And that will be shared more on September 11th on our kickoff Sunday, and we present this more to our membership and our congregation. But really excited about that.
So Sunday school has got a sick revamp. And by sick, I mean really good.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Good. And then small groups are kicking off at the end of September.
Yep. Pastor Steve's got a great group of people he's working with. And they're going to be launching kind of a special initiative, basically to make small groups an easy and accessible opportunity. So the commitment is going to be 5, maybe 6 weeks, so somebody doesn't have to feel like, oh man, I'm committing for the next year or two, but just a short-term commitment so they can experience the value of small group. Because a lot of people need that interaction, right? You got the large group worship interaction. Sunday school offers a mid-level interaction, but some people want to go deep with 4, 5, 6 people. And so that's going to be a great opportunity for them.
So many good things. Moving on, our women's ministry is doing really well.
Women's ministry's got some great kind of team leadership going on, several Bible studies being offered that I'm super excited about for our women. Even within our women's ministries, you have other ministries like Moms, which is like moms. It's like a mom's ministry that happens on Thursdays and for young women. And there's some cool mentorship that's going on there where some older women and mothers, are just partnering with and sharing life with others. So that's a really neat thing happening this fall. And then we have our children and youth ministries kicking off.
Awana and youth group.
Yeah, Awana has an open house on September 28th, kicking off the first Wednesday of October. And then our youth group is starting kind of right away here in September on the 13th and the 14th. And I guess now that I am a parent of a junior high student, which is just rocking my world, they're kind of opening things up. In October, they're going to have an all-student and parent paintball outing. So I gotta get my gear going. I think I might might be putting back on those youth group days since I used to be a youth pastor, so
There you
it'll
go.
be fun. It'll be
Yes,
fun.
there you go.
But we definitely want to make sure we like communicate the fact that, when it comes to information, we want to encourage everybody and point everybody to use that smartphone. Virtually every one of us has them.
Yep.
And to utilize the app that we are putting all of our content on. If you want access to our sermons, to our calendar, to other announcements, to the podcast, we need you to go to wherever you download your apps and look up the Church Center app in the App Store. Mm-hmm. And once you download the Church Center app, just search for GracePoint Church. That's it.
Yep. Capital
Super
G,
easy.
capital P.
That's right. Yep. Super easy. But that's just the day and age we live in, right? Like emails, social media, apps, like that's how we're communicating. And all that we offer and have for you is there, and it's easy to find. And we're certainly happy to help you with that if you ever need further assistance.
And just to clarify, the old app you're not using, we still have an app, but now that app has been moved.
Yes.
And that's now in conjecture with Planning Center, which is what we use for so much of our organization.
Yeah,
so the
for a
fact
lot
that
of
they have an
management.
app that we can use called Church Center is going to be so much better, centralize more things, which means more things are more accessible, including live streams and podcasts.
Just
and
a great way
content.
to see what's going on, right?
Yes, and
everything
calendar
happening.
and so I think it's a really, really great thing that Holly's been working on and just getting that going. And so many people have been involved in getting their ministries onto to Planning Center. So it's an exciting time.
It's so neat to have those resources in front of us. And there's just so much to look forward to. We can't wait to have all of you join us. And as we all come back together kind of en masse to our fall realities. There's a lot happening at the church, certainly ministry-wise. Want to point you to especially the kickoff Sunday on September 11th.
Yes.
Our service schedule is already changing this Sunday, August 28th. So we're back to 8:30 traditional and the 11 o'clock modern worship service schedule. And so we hope everyone can join us. And when it comes to our sanctuary, we're going to continue worshiping in the gym through the month of September.
Yep.
But we're so close to being ready to go. Like I said, carpet is being installed right now. We got some chairs that we're waiting on. But
so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for more on that.
To the website, social media. We'll have announcements when it's go time, when it means, hey, christening service for that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be good.
We'll launch a bottle and break it against the wall.
Something like that, right? Sparkling cider.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's so many good things to be looking forward to. There's a lot of information we just unpacked from the summer, a lot of information we just unpacked for the fall. If you have a hard time keeping that straight, calendar, it's all there.
Yep.
App, it's all there.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about Awana or youth group or women's ministry, all of the information and contacts,
right? Small
and for volunteer, yes. There's contact information on the website for each of the contact people for those things.
That's correct.
We are looking forward to getting back and going, and I think that it's just gonna. I think at the center of everything, we're excited about having people in the house again, involved in worship, involved in the things that are meant to create and stir on spiritual growth, meant to bring us closer to Jesus and remind us of the gospel. So these are all of these things have a singular goal, which is bringing us closer. And you want to say, what's our mission statement?
Yeah, we're all about, our goal is to present everyone complete in Christ.
Yes.
Right. And so we want to be a people that are reaching out while transforming within for the glory of God. And that's at the heart of everything we do.
Yep.
It's all about that.
So thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much to everyone who took part in so many different things going on this summer, whether you were serving or whether you were just attending. We are grateful for how many people are involved and continue to be involved this summer. And so we are even more excited about what that means for this fall. So we will see you again very soon in this podcast. Stay tuned, and there'll be more to come. Well, we are so glad that you were able to join us today, and we hope that you could join us again next Wednesday for another conversation. Thank you.